You're listening to The World at 8 with Lynn Mozart. The World at 8, the number one in nationalist news.
Highlights of the news today, Monday, the 30th of January. A former army chief has claimed that if Argentina were to take back the Falklands, British forces would not be able to take them back. Reports say that 2 teenage girls who were killed on a level crossing were the result of a breach of health and safety laws. Police and bailiffs have evicted up to 50 protesters from a disused office block. The President of France, Nicolas Sarkozy, has made an open comment saying Britain has no industry anymore. Further persecution of Nigerian Christians by a fanatical Islamic sect. The Syrian Army has retaken one of its capital suburbs in the most intense fighting yet seen. And thought for the day. UK news. A former army chief has claimed that if Argentina were to take the Falklands, British forces would not be able to take them back. General Sir Mike Jackson warned that we do not have any jets able to fly from aircraft carriers anymore. The World at 8 reported earlier this month on the danger of its Harrier fleet being sold to the United States. The General went on to say that the airfield on the Falkland Islands, which is situated on the high ground and named Mount Pleasant Airfield, would be the key to the defence of the island, but if it was captured by the Argentinians, there would be no place to land or take off for the RAF. It is a sad and sorry state to reduce our armed forces to in this day and age, a party spokesperson has stated. The Royal Navy has unveiled its new anti-missile system. The system, which can destroy missiles travelling at supersonic speeds of what is reported to be at Mach 3, can protect an area exceeding 500 miles. Motorists in Wales have been given a warning of snow and ice in the next few days. 5 centimetres of snow fell at its heaviest point so far in the southern Welsh valleys. Snowdonia also had a similar snowfall, and there is more to come. Reports say that 2 teenage girls who were killed on a level crossing were the result of a breach of health and safety laws. The case, which has drawn media attention recently, has shown how deadly level crossings can be. Network Rail is set to plead guilty, say the parents of the 2 dead teenagers. Police and bailiffs have evicted up to 50 protesters from a disused office block. The office block, which is owned by a Swiss bank, has been occupied by the protesters over recent weeks. Some sources have said that the police have used irresponsible tactics. Euronews. The President of France, Nicolas Sarkozy, has made the most obvious statement of the year so far in that Britain has no industry anymore. In his revelation made this week, Mr Sarkozy said that he would raise the French VAT by 1.6%. Trying his best in the media to cover the ever-increasing euro debt crisis, sources have said that he is using these efforts to save the euro and the French economy. World news. Nigerian Christians in Kano were dragged out of their churches and searched by the army and police for weapons, as the Islamic sect Boko Haram vows to continue the slaughter of Christians in Africa, even after they have killed 185 people recently. The name Boko Haram translates to mean that Western education is a sin. The police and government troops joined in the killings last month when they were ordered to actually protect the Christians. This they clearly did not do, resulting in 44 Christians being killed in Abuja, the capital, on Christmas Day. One source said, "When Christians become inevitably a minority in their own country, you will see the real face of Islam. Convert or die." Christians in Indonesia were singing hymns and praying in a vigil in the hope that the Islamic Indonesian president, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, would allow them to reopen their church. Bogor City has been the scene of Indonesian Christians having to hold their church services on the pavement outside due to their permit on their church being revoked. Sources say they are praying to stop the intimidation against them. The Syrian Army has retaken one of its capital suburbs in the most intense fighting yet seen. The Syrian forces loyal to its leader fought ferocious battles to quell the ever-increasing uprising. The Saudi government has decided to pull out its members from the Arab League. More sources say that terrorists have destroyed a pipeline which supplies gas to the region. Thought for the day. I'm glad we are getting more listeners to make their opinions heard. This nationalist news welcomes constructive criticism or accolades. The more, the merrier. My thoughts are on protesters. There is an email going around and I must read it because it encompasses my thoughts exactly. The Arabs are not happy. They are not happy in Gaza, in the West Bank, Jerusalem, Israel, Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Tunis, Morocco, Yemen, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Lebanon, the Sudan, Jordan, Iran. Where are the Arabs happy? They are very happy in the UK, France, Italy, Germany, Sweden, Holland, Denmark, Belgium, Norway, USA, Canada, Romania, Hungary, Australia and New Zealand. They are happy in any other country in the world that is not under Muslim rule. And who do they blame? Not Islam, not their leadership, not themselves, but the countries in which they are happy to live. This is so true. Democracy is really good for them. In a democracy they can live comfortably, enjoy the high quality of life which they did not build and work for. They don't have to be productive and earn a living. They can be wild, break the law, exploit the social services, wear burqas and make a mockery of our police and courts and generally bite the hand that feeds them. The question is, why do they always try to bring their fail system with them? Why do they want to turn other countries into the country they left for a better life? Muslims make up less than 3% of our population, yet our government is fixated on pandering to them. Why? These sentiments are very true. Take the protesters in Syria now. One can always find something to protest about against a dictator or a government. The question is who or what is driving this dissension throughout the Arab world. In the past it could have been blamed on the Western powers, but in recent years the basis of all the trouble in the Middle East is a homegrown fanatical Muslims. They want and have replaced men who have had the reins of their countries for many years with an Islamic republic, not the democracy they are yelling into the Western cameras about. Make no mistake, the Western governments help these revolutionists at their peril. The only democratic life they want to experience is in someone else's country, and that is usually when they have made a hellhole of their own. I'm not including Iraq in this summation. We should leave dictators in place, especially Saddam, because when we removed him, we removed a safety block in the Middle East and let loose the dogs of war. I am sick of protesters, sick of the mess they make of our cities, sick of squatters, sick to death of people bleating about pensions when they are lucky to have a job, and really, really sick of these so-called Muslim Democrat protesters. Tell them to get jobs, to clean up their countries and to be grateful to whatever idiot decides to form some sort of government in these God-forsaken places. I call for zero tolerance on Muslim fundamentalism wherever it rears its ugly and hideous head. And finally, in a new report, women are better at parking than men are. In an age-old joke about women drivers, men are not having the last laugh. In the latest survey, it found male drivers to be the losers when it comes to parking. But an addition to this from our scriptwriter. He writes, "Except for the woman who reversed into me at Sainsbury's car park before Christmas. Oh dear. Well, you cannot win them all, can you, girls?" You have been listening to The World at 8. I am Lynn Mozart and I wish you all a very good night from Radio Britain.